The Phosphene Phenomena. By the way, I just want to apologize for my deep voice. I'm actually going through some sickness, so bear with me, please. But anyway, let's talk about the Phosphene Phenomena. What is the Phosphene Phenomena? So a phosphene is the phenomena of seeing light without light entering the eye. The word phosphene comes from the Greek word phos, which is light, and phenene, which means to show. And here's an artist's representation of phosphene by retinal stimulation. So phosphenes can be induced by mechanical, electrical, or magnetic stimulation of the retina or visual cortex. Phosphenes have also been reported by meditators called nimitta. It's people who endure long periods without visual stimulation. Basically, they start meditating, they close their eyes, and they start seeing these phosphene patterns, which is also known as the prisoner cinema, which is a phenomena of light show of various colors that appear out of darkness. The light has a form, but those that have seen it find it difficult to describe. Sometimes the cinema lights revolve into a human or other figures. Basically, according to people's experiences of the prisoner cinema, sometimes these lights come together and they form a silhouette or a human figure. Sometimes these are known as the shadow people, or other figures such as the light people, and also the static people, which I've talked about in previous videos. This phenomenon is reported by prisoners confined to dark cells by others kept in darkness, voluntarily or not for long periods of time. It has also been reported by truck drivers, pilots, and practitioners of intense meditation. So they're basically like almost visual hallucinations that start to happen. But this type of pattern is also very common with people who ingest psychedelic drugs. So people who consume all kinds of psychedelics, whether it's shrooms, DMT, LSD, mescaline, they describe seeing this similar pattern, which I've talked about. One of the most familiar phosphene patterns that people describe is of course seeing the black and white checkerboard or zigzag-like pattern. And interestingly enough, I've talked about this in previous videos as well, but in many TV shows and music videos, you see this pattern everywhere. Right, a common thing you see in the music industry is the floor is always checkerboard patterns. Or sometimes they have that Twin Peaks David Lynch zigzag pattern. But this pattern is very common throughout the music industry, throughout Hollywood. For some reason, you find it everywhere. Which, as I stated in previous videos many times, could very well have something to do with the high places that spiritual wickedness live in, according to the Bible. So now that I talked about the phosphene phenomena, I want to talk about my experience with the phosphene phenomena. So this is the true story of how I accidentally ingested a toxic amount of caffeine. So how this happened is basically back in July, my family and I moved to Texas from California, and we got maybe like a quarter of our stuff. The rest of our stuff was still back at home when we were selling the house. But then 2 weeks later, the rest of our stuff comes in a semi-truck trailer. And the night before, my dad decides to buy these so-called vitamin drinks, like a case of them from Costco. And he tells me and my brother, try these drinks out, these are vitamin drinks. So anyway, my brother and I drink like 3 of these drinks because they were really good. And we literally thought this was some sparkling water vitamin drink. We didn't bother to read the ingredients, it just said vitamins. And this was around 11 p.m. So right before we were trying to fall asleep. Anyway, as I'm laying in bed, I realize I cannot fall asleep. I am very hyper energetic. And then I tell my brother the same thing. I'm asking, hey, can you sleep right now? He said, no, I feel very, very awake right now. So we rushed downstairs to check the fridge, and we were like, what was in those drinks? So my brother and I grabbed one of the cans and we read the ingredients. Turns out it's one of those natural so-called health-conscious energy drinks with over 200 to 250 milligrams of caffeine. And we drank 3 of those, so we're like, wow, we're gonna suffer tomorrow. Because the next thing we're supposed to be unloading the rest of our stuff from the semi-truck trailer, and it's a bunch of stuff. I'm talking a bunch of furniture, gym equipment, just the rest of our stuff from back home. So that entire night, my brother and I didn't sleep. And when 8 a.m. came, it was time for us to unload everything from the semi-truck trailer with 0 sleep, highly caffeinated. So as I stated, we drank like 3 of those drinks, which is anywhere from like 600 to 700 milligrams of caffeine. So as we're working, my brother and I feel pretty awake, even though we had 0 sleep. But as the hours start to go by, I start to feel like I'm in a dream or something. I'm like super disassociated. I feel super strange. And as I'm working, unloading the trailer, doing this hard labor, trying to get everything out of there as quick as possible. And as I'm working, I start experiencing like these ocular migraines, where I see this like fractal kaleidoscope pattern, except it's not different colors, it's just black and it's just like flickering over and over. Basically like a visual hallucination. Especially when I look up into the sky, I could see this like visual hallucination of this fractal pattern just flickering. But anyway, we finish unloading the trailer with most of our stuff. I don't know, maybe it took like 10 hours. And we finally get to rest and the tiredness starts to hit me. So finally I go in the bathroom, take a shower to clean up and relax. And the exhaustion is just starting to hit me because the caffeine is wearing off. And as I get out of the shower, I'm drying my hair and my face. And as I close my eyes, I start getting these split-second hallucinations of the phosphene pattern. It looked like a very psychedelic, zigzag black and white pattern. And I was just getting split-second hallucinations of that every time I would close my eyes. And 100% I think it's from the toxic dose of caffeine that I accidentally took. It was a very weird experience. The closest way I can describe this pattern is if you've ever seen the movie Vivarium. It's a movie about a couple that gets stuck in another dimension. There's a scene where a little boy is watching TV in that dimension and he sees these weird zigzag black and white patterns. This is kind of exactly what I saw when I was getting these split-second hallucinations. So yeah, that was very strange. And this is going to lead me to my next topic, which is the decision that I made to quit caffeine cold turkey since last Saturday. For months now, I've slowly been getting this conviction of quitting caffeine overall, because I've been feeling kind of hypocritical. Because on my channel, I call out all these mind-altering substances, right? These psychoactive substances. Yet I've been taking a mild psychoactive substance every morning called caffeine. In the morning before work, I would take a strong cup of black coffee. And then later in the evening during work, I would drink a nitro cold brew or an energy drink. Because for the longest time, I assumed that caffeine gave you energy. But that's actually never the case. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one that didn't know this. But all caffeine does is it tells your mind that you are not tired, even though you are still tired. So whichever way you want to look at it, and again, this is my personal conviction. I feel like the Holy Spirit has been leading me to fully quit caffeine. Because recently, for months, I've been getting this thought kind of calling me a hypocrite, which I believe is fully the Holy Spirit because it's a conviction of something I don't want to give up. But the one thing I know about the Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit never leaves you hanging. The Holy Spirit tells you to do something or to not do something. It's not going to leave you wondering why or why not. It's going to lead you to answers. And I got led to my answers. Number one, caffeine does not give you energy. It just blocks your brain from your body telling it that it's tired. So you are still tired. It's just an illusion. Your reality is just altered. Number two, it's a mild psychoactive. It is a drug. It's a mind-altering substance. Caffeine increases negative emotions. It increases anxiety, paranoia, insomnia, because it raises your cortisol level. And there's this interesting website I found talking about caffeine, kind of making me look at it from a different perspective. So coffee contains the drug caffeine. Though caffeine is a weak drug, it is a drug nonetheless. The Greek word translated as sorceries in Revelations 9:20 and witchcraft in Galatians 5:20 is pharmakia, which has a meaning of sorcery, witchcraft, drugs, or poison. In addition, the word sorceries in Revelations 18:23 was also translated from the Greek pharmakia. What I realized, and again guys, as I stated, this is my personal conviction. I'm not saying that I am 100% objectively right. Maybe I'm missing some information. But from the information I've been led to, if I were to be honest with myself and place caffeine in a biblical category, it would have to be pharmakia. Because the Bible doesn't make a distinction between mild psychoactive and hardcore psychoactives like psychedelics. It just says it's all pharmakia. So perhaps the question should be asked, should we be putting any type of drugs, even legal, socially approved ones, as caffeine into our bodies? Not only is caffeine a drug, but it's a mild psychoactive. It's a drug which works directly on the central nervous system. In fact, caffeine is the most consumed psychoactive drug in the world. As such, it has the power to alter one's reality. We know this is true because millions of people use coffee to alter their realities every morning. Many are tired and lacking energy. They drink coffee and they now believe themselves to be refreshed and energized, which I did. But the reality of their situation has not changed. They are still tired. However, the perception of their reality has changed. They now believe themselves to be even more energetic, at least for a little while. So as I stated, it does not give you energy. It blocks your mind from your body telling it that it's tired. And here's my perspective on it, and one of the big reasons I've been convicted by the Holy Spirit to quit caffeine altogether. Me consuming caffeine on a daily basis most of the week, I realized that me personally, it feels like I'm kind of rebelling against the way God created my body. Because God created your body to give signals to the mind if something is wrong, right? If you're not getting enough rest, or you're not having a good diet, or you're not exercising, the body will tell your mind that it's tired, it's exhausted. And God made our bodies like that for a reason, to let us know we need to fix something. Fix our sleep, fix our diet, and fix our exercise life. So as false and altered realities are already a big problem in this day and age, the question might be asked, should we be consuming any substance which alters our reality? But yeah guys, I appreciate you so much for watching. By the way, for my patrons watching, I am doing a giveaway on the 25th, and I am giving away $50. I'm just going to take your name, put you in a drawing. So if any of you want to join the giveaway, feel free to join my Patreon. Even for a month, I'm going to put your name in a drawing or like a random name generator, and whoever wins gets $50. I might do this every month, who knows? But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and comment. And I will see you soon. Till next time.